Welcome to part 6. Right, this is the home straight now. We're just finishing here with this Tele build. Basically, this is putting on the machine heads, which I ordered, tuning machines, sorry, that I ordered. So these are Wilkinson, I can't show you, Wilkinson Easy Tuners. Now, the one regret is that when I shaped this part of the neck, I was a bit too over-enthusiastic, so you can see a little bit of the tuning machine from the other side poke through, which isn't great. But, yeah. First one, number one. And so essentially I'm just stringing it up here. Setting up the action was fine, standard Tele, right, which is Allen key that's supplied, and take the so when it came, the action was super high, so it's now down. It's not super low, but you know, it's sort of high enough for me to do some tapping stuff. I've played this live, well, on a Twitch gig, but essentially live. Yeah, great. It was great. There is one job that I haven't done yet that's outstanding. I don't know whether you can hear it. It's not plugged in, but I don't know whether you can hear it on the acoustic. The B string and the E string. I mean, maybe the B string is a bit sitar-y. And I think what that is the nut slots here. I think the top E string and the B string, I think the nut slots aren't quite right, I think. And I think maybe, you know, the string's not kind of sitting in there nicely. I think those will need to be filed a little bit, just a tiny bit, so the string really sits in nice and just sits in and doesn't kind of, you know, sort of almost like wobble about in a poorly sort of filed, you know, it really just sits in and just resonates properly. I mean, it seemed worse when I initially strung it up with Proto Yellows. That's what I used, not the stock strings that came with it. They're just like bundled in loose. Goodness knows what brand they are. Not Didario, you know, like. But yeah, I had these, so these went in. Yeah, so I think it was worse when I first strung it up. Also, when I first strung it up, I didn't have the retainers on, which I've subsequently put on. I think that's cut down a lot of this kind of, you know, sort of stuff going on there. But yeah, so essentially I do want to do one more job. I'm going to do a separate video on that because I've got some 3D printed tools that I want to show you. It's kind of interesting. So there we go. Final build. Cheers, folks. So we've got the new tuning machines, Wilkinson tuning machines. Now, obviously, because these these are different from the kit, the pre-drilled holes are there, and on the new ones, I mean, the difference in the hole is quite significant. So we're gonna have to drill out new screw holes there, which is fine, not a problem. Yeah, I could fill the old ones, but because the metalwork will pretty much cover. Don't think that's necessary. PS, if you're new here, you are very welcome. I mean, I'm mostly messing around with synthesizers, but I do like me guitars and me basses, and then this is the first sort of, you know, time me sort of diving into a guitar kit. But yeah, but we'll probably go back to the world of synthesizers for the next few videos, because what's interesting for me is kind of, you know, the guitar that I assembled, playing with the little modular rig down here that I assembled, and having a real kind of DIY live setup. That's quite appealing to me. But anyway, yeah, if you're new here, you are very welcome. Loads more content to come. Cheers. Alrighty, we are pretty much finished. I'm just going to put some lemon oil onto the fretboard. This applicator's a bit, the whole thing's a bit old, but and then I'm going to string it up with some roto sand yellows, which are essentially similar to the Ernie ball in terms of string thickness, like the Ernie ball, a regular slinky.
This is boring.
So these are the Wilkinson Easy tuners, which have 2 holes in the pole piece. I think the idea is, so I'll go round and then round and in the bottom kind of hole in the pole piece. Grand. And then I'll go into the top one. And then, oh, where's me winder? And then just wind it on. And apparently that's really quick. Yeah, right. That is pretty quick actually. Happy days. Sounds awful. Alrighty, we're finished. But we're not quite finished. So let's just turn the amp off. If we look at the action there, that's pretty high. The kit does come with the required Allen keys. So just over here at the bridge, we can adjust these little springs in the saddles for string height. And then obviously we can adjust these screws here, this distance here, to just get the intonation nice and accurate. So while the strings are just stretching in, I'll do a bit of work now on the intonation and the action, and then I'll just maybe leave it overnight for these strings to sort of just relax and then give it a play tomorrow.